podcast is brought to you by Loot Crate Anime. Loot Crate has teamed up with Crunchyroll to bring you amazing toys, apparel, and other cool collectibles from your favorite anime and manga. To subscribe, just go to lootcrate.com/animeamerica and use the code AnimeAmerica to get $3 off your first subscription.
Welcome everyone to the Anime America podcast. My name is Lark, you know my lovable voice. So let's just get straight into it with the folks that are going to be joining me today. We have Brad.
Hey.
What have you been up to lately, Brad?
I've been miserable. Isn't that exciting news?
Oh, it's almost like you're filled with some kind of despair.
Yes.
Oh my god.
My half-empty glass is half as empty as before, so I'm half empty. I'm quarter empty.
You're quarter empty? Do you need to fill up?
Maybe, but I'd probably just dump it anyway. Because it doesn't matter. It would just make me remember that it's all going to be gone again, and I'm going to be right back to being just as miserable as before.
Well, that's a great way to start the podcast off. Like, I haven't been on the podcast in months, and I'm just like, you know what, today I'm going to host. And you throw me a curveball like that? Like, come on, man.
That's like when Trump started, did his inaugurational speech and said, everything sucks. America is terrible. We're all gonna die. Okay.
Oh my, oh my, oh my. It's the beginning of the year. We'll see how everything pans out.
Yeah.
And also, waiting in the shadows, our newest member of the Anime America crew. You might have already heard her in Top 10 Monsters, and you might have seen a bit of her work in Watch and Wait. So, I would like to introduce the very talented Hannah.
Lark, don't be going telling people lies about me.
Hey, like, how else am I supposed to introduce you?
That one new girl that was annoying on the live stream. That's how you introduced me.
Excuse me, I'm pretty sure you gathered a bunch of fans
Yeah.
on that live stream.
You got two melancholies with you on the show where we're like, we're not as great as, everything sucks, let's just go.
You jumped on the live stream and instantly gained fans. Like, just accept the compliment.
I shall. I will accept the compliment that I am moderately talented and maybe one or two people like me.
You sound like me.
Why do both of you have to be so depressing all of a sudden?
You know what?
Do you pay attention to life?
You know what? I live in Michigan. It's really snowy here, and snowy is just very gloomy weather here, so...
It's the snow's fault.
I wish I had snow. I'm sitting like in goddamn 40-degree heat at the moment.
No, you don't. Snow is one of those things that you wish you have, and then you have it, and you realize it is literally the worst thing ever. Like you're like a side chick.
Wow. Okay. Okie dokie. I don't know how to come back from that, but we're gonna move on before we're at the 4-minute mark here, and we're already done.
Lark wishes he hadn't agreed to come on the show.
Lark, you got to keep up with me. I did improv in college. I can do this. I can do this all night.
Oh, just you don't you dare get me started. I'll improv you all the way to hell.
I'll have to take you up on that one day.
Yeah, it's nice there. Been there, done that. It's a good vacation spot. And with that, I'm going to ask you, Hannah,
Yes.
what have you been up to lately?
What have I been up to? I've been working a lot on my day job, and then I've been coming home and prepping my watch and wait list for my next episode that's coming up. Really excited about that. I'm going to be covering the rest of the shows that that I discussed coming out this season. Um, I've also been hanging out with good friends of mine, getting prepped for my wedding coming up in November. So I'm very busy with literally everything in my life. I have no downtime.
Can you
Oh, it's always the way.
tell us what describe what watch and wait is?
Yeah, sure. So Watch and Wait is a little ditty that I came up with. I'm a really big fan of the simul dubs that Funimation is starting to really crank out every season. Basically, a simul dub, for those who don't know, is when a show is airing in Japan, Funimation will usually work in partnership with one of the companies and um, will produce an English cast for that show and will air the show anywhere from 4 weeks after the show starts airing in Japan to 30 minutes after it starts airing in Japan. And so we will be basically getting an English dub for the show side by side, getting the Japanese subtitle version of the show. It's a really cool thing. So what I've decided to do is start checking out the first couple of episodes in Japanese, see how I feel about it, and I'll either watch it if I'm really enjoying the show or wait for the dub and maybe give the show a second chance, because sometimes things just click a little bit better in English than they do in Japanese, and sometimes the Japanese performance is 100 times better than the English performance. It's all a matter of preference and linguistic semantics that I studied in college and nobody cares about.
Yay!
Fair enough. Well, I
Years of
definitely
your
look
life
forward
wasted.
to. Oh, those college degrees, you'll get it. You'll get that little piece of paper that says you could do what you studied hours and years for, and it'll just gather dust, like mine has. Mine's sitting in a drawer. I literally put dust over it just to get it started.
You just get a fresh layer
I was like,
of authentic Australian dust for that diploma.
yeah, I was like, well, I might as well get it started.
Right. I plan to have a good inch on mine before I'm 30.
Yeah, so it's always good fun.
High goals.
And tell us a bit about yourself. What anime do you like? Kind of thing. Tell us what the audience out there want to hear.
I don't want to hear anything. I promise you that.
No, that they want to hear about you. They want to know who you are, because you're coming into the channel. You're a new specimen. They want to dissect you.
They want to take all the needles and prod and poke at me until I bleed and see how I break.
Yeah, you're a Roswell project here. You're Area 52.
51, dear.
No, it's 52.
Whatever. Anyway.
Yeah.
51 is a myth.
51's what we know about. 52.
Yeah.
Of
we
course.
Don't.
My mistake. Anyway, some of my favorite titles include The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, Sword Art Online, Attack on Titan, Gonkatsuya, The Count of Monte Cristo, for all of you people that are into older shows and want something a little more hipster. Basically, my tastes are pretty standard. If something is mildly interesting, I'll watch it, but there are a couple of shows that I kind of hold off in the corner and I just go, these are the greatest things that have ever existed. Don't touch. I also game. Right now I'm replaying Resident Evil 4 on my PS4. I'm playing Final Fantasy 15. I read a lot. I read manga, I read books, mainly like young adult science fiction, because I love me some awful preteen romance. Um, and I have a collection of stuffed animals that range anywhere from a Yukine plushie, Yukine from Noragami that I had commissioned, to an Eevee that I got at Build-A-Bear. So I have a nice, diverse range of fluffy things that snuggle me when it's cold outside.
Yes.
Yes, and if anyone cares, I have a mountain man beard. That's all you need to know about me.
It's to be expected.
They couldn't figure that out from your chibi?
Yeah, they can tell by the muffled sound coming from. I have to talk through my beard.
See, I wish I had a beard. My face just doesn't grow hair besides my porn stash and my like little strands of hair on my chin.
Come on, Lark.
I think what happened.
Get good at facial hair. I can grow a full beard in 2 weeks.
Damn.
Like, I know it's hibernating season, but damn.
I know, get good.
Hey, Lark. Just be glad you still have hair on the top of your head, because I think what happened to me is it went from the top of my head to the bottom, and then it all congregated there. Yeah.
It did a somersault like down your face, and now it just attached itself to your chin.
Hanging on for dear life.
Don't let me go!
It's like, I don't want to leave!
It's like Rose and Jack at the end of Titanic. Never let go, Rose. I'll never let go.
Oh, dear.
Here's another thing to know about me. I'm not funny.
I'm laughing.
Sarcastically.
None of us are funny. We just happen to say the wrong thing and people just seem to laugh. Whether that be they're laughing at us or with us, it's still a laugh in my books.
That's all up to semantics. A laugh is a laugh.
A laugh is a laugh is a laugh is a laugh. Laugh is ugh.
Sounds like the start of a Disney song.
It is a laugh of a laugh of a laugh. Yeah, let's see.
We can.
And you know,
we can do
Beauty
it.
and the Beast is coming out soon, so just gassed on the thing.
Yeah. That's what we need to do, make live action versions of all the perfectly fine as they are animations that we already love. Just ruin all of it.
Yeah, well, you know, Ghost in the Shell is coming out in
Okay.
A couple of weeks.
Well,
something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's coming out in March.
And everyone's having a go at, you know, oh, they're whitewashing Ghost in the Shell. And I have no opinion whatsoever.
Here's my opinion. Scarlett Johansson, beautiful woman, great actress, don't care.
yeah.
Well, that's the thing. She is a beautiful woman. She is a good actress. I don't care that she's in Ghost in the Shell. Like,
The only thing I care about is if she's going to do good. But the way these movies go, they're never good. So I don't have very high hopes for the movie to begin with. But hey, I like ScarJo. I'm gonna see it because I like ScarJo.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see it because it's Ghost in the Shell. I'm curious to see, you know, whether they can adapt a anime into a live action format, because we're going to get that with what is it? I think Attack. We've already got that with Attack on Titan, and that did okay.
Well, the funny thing about that is that people will make the argument that it's, you know, Western Hollywood that destroys these properties and stuff like that. The Attack on Titan movie was all produced in Japan. That is my understanding, is that it was all produced in Japan.
Yeah,
and it was
abysmal.
It was bad.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. It doesn't matter where it's produced. It doesn't matter who's behind it. If the writing or the camera work or the direction isn't good, then it's not going to be a good film.
Exactly.
This is.
But there's that preconceived stigma that just because a Western director or a Western studio has made it, it's automatically going to be bad.
Yeah. And the thing is, I'm leaving my hopes at a minimal kind of
Right.
mid range level for the Death Note Netflix series.
Oh man. Oh.
Like,
My expectations for stuff
Oh.
is set to minimum, and then that way
Yeah.
I can't be disappointed.
My problem is, I agree with all of that, but I freaking Ghost in the Shell is my favorite thing ever, and so is Death Note, and so I I'm I know that I could be very disappointed, but I'm hoping that they. I can't wait to see it live action because the story and is so good, the characters and the writing is so good. I have hopes that if they can just translate, just take the story and the writing and the characters as they are, just have live actors do it, do the CG, and you'll be fine. I am anxiously waiting for the revolution where, because the content that I see in anime, the writing is so much better and more evolved than most of what we see in America. So I'm just excited that we're trying to bring that over, because I think even though we may have some movies that we're gonna hate or it's gonna be terrible or whatever, at least we're starting that movement now, in America, and Americans are realizing, oh, there's good stuff there. We should do more of that.
Well, I think it depends on where you look, because I would definitely argue that with as many media platforms as we have now, it's a lot easier for content that you wouldn't consider mainstream to become a part of, like, American entertainment. For example, shows like, I just watched a series of Unfortunate Events. And that had an awful movie. It was pitched as a TV show and nobody ever picked it up. But Netflix picked it up and it's brilliant. It's great. It's hilarious. So I think that there's definitely starting to be this sort of evolution of Western media getting to the point where it's more entertaining storytelling as opposed to just the joke a week or the punchline a week sitcom.
Yeah.
yeah, because I watched a lot of sitcoms in the past years, say like Two and a Half Men, Big Bang Theory. They got very, very stale after season 6, 7, 8.
Right.
It just needed to. It just needs to stop. But I find with Netflix is that they're taking a very more refreshing approach to their content. They're picking up things you normally wouldn't think of seeing. And I love the fact that they've picked up Death Note, and they've even got William Dafoe as Ryuk.
Oh.
The villain from Spider-Man.
William Dafoe
is-
already looks like Ryuk without the makeup.
Exactly. He already looks like it. I think he's going to do well. What my main concern is that people are going to flat out dislike this Death Note adaptation, because I'm looking at production photos as we speak. It's set in America, so it's because Death Note is an anime. It's based in Japan. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
With this adaptation, it is a true to form Western adaptation. It is set in America. It's like, from the set photos, it's got cop cars with Seattle police on it. American flags everywhere. Whether that may be just a scene set in America or not, like, I don't know. It's currently in production in Vancouver, I believe.
Well, and
where everything is made.
And even if it is something that we adapt and make it more of an American setting, I think that now is definitely the time to do something like that, because if you think about it, Death Note is one of those shows that calls into a lot of things, like the competency of the police force, that blurred line between what's considered ethical and what's considered immoral and things like that. And it reflects a lot of things that are going on, especially in American culture today. So I think that if we were to take Death Note, put it in American culture, there's a lot that we could explore that we wouldn't be able to explore with a Japanese adaptation. So I would be interested to see um, what they take and what they change, because let's be fair here, even the Death Note movies, they changed a lot of the content from what was originally in the anime and the manga. So I think that if you make an adaptation, you're well within your rights to kind of play around with scenarios and situations, as long as the core message and the core characters remain faithful to the source material.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've got to understand that, in introducing Death Note, like on Netflix, it's going to introduce a lot of people to anime, because for me, Death Note was one of those key animes that got me into the genre itself, and I believe that is what started a lot of people, because that was the hot thing at the time. That was the main thing, and it was a very dark thing as well. So everyone was like, "Ooh, this is a lot different than the cutesy, chibi stuff that we're usually seeing. This is a very dark and very serious tone."
Yeah.
So
It was brilliant too. Genius.
It was brilliant, and it had a lot of twists and turns that not many people figured out, or like it was those like drop of the penny moments going, "Oh, that's brilliant." So I believe this is also going to be that gateway, because people are going to be like, because it's going to be this vicious cycle. It's going to be people going, "Oh, it's not the same as the manga. It's not the same as the movies. It's not the same as the anime." And people that don't know the original content are going to look at it and go, "Oh, well, okay. Well, how about I go check that out?" Yeah. It's like, even though it's being Americanized, it's still the same franchise. The franchise is still getting its revenue. But and you got to remember, like, the anime is different from the manga. The movie is different from the anime. This new version is going to be different from anything else, but it will still have its core characters, its core settings, its core everything. It's just going to be placed somewhere else. It's just going to be told in a new way. So we will see how it comes out. There hasn't been a release date or any trailers or teasers yet. We've only got, 5 production photos on IMDb at the moment. It's got the full cast list. You can check that out. But we shall see how it goes. It should be fun.
I was just gonna say, speaking of movies, you told me that you saw the latest Yu-Gi-Oh movie and you loved it.
Oh, great segue.
I'm a huge, well, I don't know about huge, but I'm a big Yu-Gi-Oh fan. I watched all the original stuff and the Battle City stuff, and I played the game for a while in my adult childhood.
Didn't we all?
So I'm curious to know. It sounds from what you said in the messaging that I should see it. So tell us about it, please.
So it came out in cinemas last week, actually. It was supposed to be released, 2 days from now, but it got released a week early here in Australia. So me and my mate Logan, we decided to pick up some tickets and head on down. To our surprise, we actually got free Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and by Yu-Gi-Oh cards I mean one card, and it was the movie version, this movie's version of Obelisk the Tormentor. So I now actually have an official Obelisk the Tormentor.
Unfortunately, I think according to the rules, as I knew them a few years ago, you can't use it.
It is a banned card, yes. What and to our surprise, we thought it was just going to be some 60-minute, maybe 50-minute animation, kind of just like what the last Yu-Gi-Oh movie was, the time dimension one, or whatever it was called. But no, this was a 2-hour movie, and it was very surprising. It had all the the classic movie tropes. It had subplots, plots, great characters, great scenes. It was just an endless barrel of fun. Like the amount of detail that goes into the fights, because usually, like in the last two movies, the fights would be over in maybe 4 or 5 turns, but these fights they just kept going, and we're just kind of like, is it going to stop? Like, when are we going to get it? When are we going to get a break? But we were saying that in a good way, because it would just kept going. All the original voice cast came back. So Yugi, Tristan, Joey, all of them came back to reprise their voice, and I'm glad Dan Green came back. After all the tragedy that he has been through in the last couple of years, and Kaiba coming back with his just like quirky snaps.
Yugi.
My one gripe I have with it is that we didn't get a cameo from Maximilian Pegasus, Rex Raptor, or Weevil Underwood. We didn't get to see any of those characters. Not even My Valentine. None of those characters reprising their roles. I didn't even get my Mako Tsunami. I was upset. But that's a tiny thing.
Can you give us a basic storyline without revealing, spoilers?
Basic storyline. Give me like
Let me
2
Google it.
seconds. I just don't want to get the characters wrong. The character name wrong of the main villainy duty. Yes, Agami. So basically, it takes place a few years after the events of the series, after the Pharaoh, has his final battle, and does his thing. Just in case, I'm trying to avoid spoilers, just in case anyone hasn't finished the series yet. But that all happens. It is at the end of the high school lives for all of our main characters, and a character called Agami comes in and starts, wrecking stuff up. He's gained these abilities after the Pharaoh disappeared, so he's now able to weave and transform the world to the way he wants, and he basically wants to stop Yugi in his tracks, so the Pharaoh can never come back, because once the Pharaoh comes back, he loses his abilities. So it's a kind of this cat and mouse kind of game, all while Kaiba is actually trying to put the Millennium Puzzle back together to bring the Pharaoh back, to have one final battle to see who is the best duelist out of them all. So you've got this villain who's trying to stop the Pharaoh coming back, and then you've got Kaiba who's trying to bring the Pharaoh back. So it's a lot of back and forth shenanigans, and yeah, so it's a very good movie. I would definitely highly recommend it to any Yu-Gi-Oh fan out there. You won't be disappointed.
By the way, I'm a fan of the original storylines, not really a fan of the other shows that came out.
GX or 5D or
Yeah.
XL or whatever it is.
And then whatever it is now I don't like the way the game is changed. But that alone, the fact that I could continue off where it left off,
it doesn't have any connections to any of the other series. It is literally a continuation of the original series. So you won't need to know anything from GX or 5Ds or Arc V or any other spin-offs like that. It is just a core Yu-Gi-Oh movie.
That's awesome.
Is there any other... Does Hannah have an input? Has she seen the Yu-Gi-Oh movie? Does she like Yu-Gi-Oh?
I do like Yu-Gi-Oh! I have not seen the Yu-Gi-Oh movie, but I did want to comment on something interesting. because Yu-Gi-Oh is not the first nostalgic movie to have come out this year. Earlier this year, I watched Digimon Try. Uh,
Ooh.
they released the dub of the first movie here in America, and they actually did an incredible job getting a good chunk of the original cast to come back. And it's interesting to me that studios are so dedicated to try and bring original casts to these movies that we have long grown up from when we were watching these shows when we were kids. So I just find it very interesting that companies will work so hard to bring back these casts that we have grown up with, and that may be intentional, that may just be one of those things if they're like, oh, we just want to offer these original people their role in the show and see if they want it. But I don't know, to me it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know if they're working with that nostalgia kick, or if they actually are intentionally seeking out these people to be like, hey, you worked on this project 10 years ago, you want to come back and do it. But I'm grateful that they do it, because I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I don't know what'll happen if Joshua Seth isn't Ty. I don't know what I'll do, because that's just been Ty my entire life.
Mm. I do appreciate that they brought back, like, especially for Yu-Gi-Oh. I everyone sounded the same. The only one who didn't sound right was Yugi's grandfather. It just sounded like they took recording samples from previous episodes and just kind of spliced it together. But there was a interview, and it's on YouTube right now on the official Yu-Gi-Oh channel, of Eric Stewart, who plays Seto Kaiba, and he was literally saying, when I found out that there was going to be a new Yu-Gi-Oh movie and I saw all the animations and all that, he goes, I was just sitting there waiting by my phone, waiting for the phone call saying, hey, do you want to come back and play Seto? And he's just like he said, it doesn't matter what I was going to do, I was going to play that role again, because he always had so much fun playing that role.
Yeah.
So coming back and doing this again, I think especially for the voice actors would be a nice callback, because these voice actors do it for so long. Like, I think Yu-Gi-Oh had maybe 198 something episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they spend a lot of time on these characters,
Yeah.
and then for years don't do anything else. So to come back, it's a nice refreshing thing for them, and especially for the fans, it's nice and refreshing to hear those voices again, because we haven't had a good Yugi Kaiba fight in many years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good to have those back, and obviously for you watching Digimon Try, it's good to have most to all the original voice actors come back and reprise their roles, because if someone else did it, you like, I know in a lot of animes, when especially in dubs, if a voice changes or something, and you're just like, it's the same, but it's just, there's something not right, and you just don't feel comfortable.
Well, and that was the nice thing about Digimon Try, is that if they could not get the original actor to come in, they didn't try to imitate the original performance. The actor did their performance, did their take on the character. So nobody was trying to imitate this actor. TK wasn't Johnny Young Bosch wasn't trying to imitate the original voice actor for TK. The new voice actress for Kari wasn't trying to imitate Laura Jill Miller or anything like that. Everybody was doing their own take on the performance, and it kept it fresh. It kept it interesting. There was only one performance, and I just want to say this. There was only one performance that I couldn't get behind 100%, and that was Matt being voiced by Vic Mignogna. I don't know what it is. I'm usually very open-minded, and I'm usually very cool about recastings and things like that. But for whatever reason, I just heard it, and it did not click with me. I couldn't do it. I was just like, this is weird. This is I can't. I can't. He
The problem with Vic is that
he didn't even do a bad job. I want to be very clear. He didn't do a bad job, but it was just the one that I was like, you sound too different, and I just can't do it.
Yeah. Like, the thing is with Vic, it's a very unique voice he has.
Oh, for sure.
But, yes. But, unfortunately, we do need to wrap this episode up. We have gone over time. Apologies to everyone who goes, oh, it's half an hour, not 36 minutes. We do apologize. We like ranting. We like just venting our words. So thank you to Brad and Hannah for joining in the podcast today.
And thank you, Lark,
any
for
final
hosting.
goodbyes you want to say?
Twitter at Balding Ewok. Follow Anime America at Anime America. Facebook. Subscribe, like, retweet, repost, all that stuff.
Yes, don't forget to follow us on all of our social medias. Hannah, what is your social media handles?
Oh my goodness, there are so many. Before I
if someone wants to send you a personal message, a love heart message, what would your Twitter handle be?
Please don't send me love heart messages. I'm engaged. Please don't do that.
If someone wants to send you creepy fan mail, what's your address?
I don't have a P.O. box yet. I'm not popular enough for that. Okay, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me at Aoshi01, I believe it is, which is AOISHI11. It would probably be easier to put a link in the description. I know I've put a link on my past videos for my own personal Twitter handle. And then it's the same thing on Instagram, and it's on Tumblr. It's all the same thing, Aoishi11. But if you're interested, in addition to stuff with Anime America, I also have a blog that I write, and that's just tolduplet'stalk.wordpress.com. It's a lot of fun. I just write about things and stuff, mainly anime, so I have more opinions there if the ones I give here are not enough for you.
Yay.
Awesome. You will find all of those things in the description box down below, or wherever you're listening on, whatever platform you're listening to this on. Words are hard. You will find a link to those. Yep. My name is Lark, so you'll find me at Lacaro93 on Twitter. And if you want to message me on the Facebooks, just go to the Anime America podcast and write a personal love letter there. So thank you to my lovely co-host for joining today. More awesome videos are on the way, so stay tuned to Anime America, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Make Anime America great again.
Take care, everyone.
And make sure, if you're gonna use any social medias, use the hashtag #NoticeMeYouTubeSenpai. Once again, thank you very much, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.
Bye.
Podcast.
Bye.
Bye.